It feels like we spend so much of our time and energy trying to be happy, right? But what if I told you that being in a bad mood actually has some pretty incredible hidden upsides? Today, we're going to dive into the surprising and honestly kind of cool power of our grumpy, gloomy feelings.
So, first things first, a quick question for you. Just take a second and think about it. What's the weather like where you are right this minute?
Okay, and now let's do a quick check-in with yourself. How are you feeling? For a whole lot of us, the answer to that first question and this one, well, they're probably pretty connected. This whole connection between the weather and how we feel, it's actually captured perfectly by this one word I learned in an Italian class years ago. My teacher, Julia Berlato, was asking us how we were, and she used it as a chance to teach us this concept that just gets right to the heart of this feeling. And that word is meteoropatico. In Italian culture, this isn't seen as some kind of flaw or weakness. Nope, it's a totally normal, accepted idea. It's just a way of acknowledging a basic fact of life, that our mood can be tied to the weather. It gives a name to something that so many of us experience.
And I mean, let's be real. When it's been gray and rainy for days on end, that urge to just crawl under a blanket and wait for the sun to come back it's real. It feels like our brains are just shutting down, telling us to go hide from the world until things get a little brighter.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Science actually argues against that instinct. It turns out, giving in to that gloom and crawling into your cave might mean you're missing out on a pretty unique mental advantage. So what is actually happening in your brain when you're feeling down? It's not just a feeling, It literally fundamentally changes the way you process information and see the world around you. So think of it like this. Our brains have two basic modes. When we're happy, our brain kind of goes on autopilot. It takes the path of least resistance. It's fast, it's efficient, but it also relies on a lot of shortcuts and biases. But when our mood goes south, our brain switches gears into what's called systematic processing. It becomes more effortful, more analytical. It starts to scrutinize every little detail and favors cold, hard facts over gut feelings. And this shift in your thinking, it's not a bug, it's a feature. A lot of research, especially from guys like Joseph Forgas, suggests that these negative moods actually have evolutionary benefits. They unlock a whole set of cognitive superpowers that a happy-go-lucky brain just might not be able to access.
Now, to be super clear, we're talking about a temporary bad mood here, not something more serious. And the research shows it can make you better at 4 key things. It can actually improve your memory, help you make fewer errors in judgment, boost your motivation, and even make you a fairer person to deal with.
Okay, let's start with memory. There was this one study where researchers found that on gloomy, rainy days, shoppers could remember way more specific details about a store they'd just been in compared to shoppers on bright, sunny days. How crazy is that? Their slightly bad mood actually made them more attentive and observant. A bad mood also makes you a sharper critical thinker. It's like it puts up a shield against those common mental shortcuts we all take. For instance, it cuts down on the halo effect. That's our tendency to think if someone's good at one thing, they must be good at everything. And it reduces the primacy effect, where we get stuck on our first impression of someone. Basically, it just makes you less gullible. And get this, it even boosts motivation. In one experiment, participants who were put into a sad mood actually worked longer and harder on difficult tasks than the happy participants did. They attempted more questions, and they got more of them right. The theory is that a bad mood makes us focus more on the potential reward of future success.
I think this quote from Bob Marley is just the perfect way to think about this. It's not just about enduring the bad weather or the bad mood. It's about what you choose to do with it. Are you just going to stand there and get wet? Or are you going to actually feel the rain and use that state of mind for something? Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice? Instead of fighting your next bad mood, what if you just leaned into it? You could actually create a specific to-do list just for those gloomy days that takes advantage of your brain's awesome analytical abilities.
All right, here's your new game plan. The next time you're feeling grumpy, use it. Tackle that one complex task you've been putting off. Do a deep dive into a problem that really needs focus. Carefully write out that critical email or memo. Use your super analytical mind to do a risk analysis on a project. Or, hey, just sit down and learn something difficult. Your brain is already primed and ready for exactly this kind of work.
Now, let's be absolutely clear about something. The point of all this is not to be grumpy all the time. This is not an excuse for toxic negativity. Okay? It is simply about giving yourself permission to be human. to experience the full range of emotions, and to understand that even sadness has a purpose.
I like to think of it as a balanced emotional diet. Good moods are fantastic. They're essential for creativity, for brainstorming, for connecting with other people. But bad moods, they are your secret weapon for focused, analytical, systematic work. The truth is, we need both to be fully effective, fully complete human beings. So the next time you feel that internal barometer start to drop and that mental fog starts rolling in, I'm just going to leave you with this question. Are you going to fight it and just wish for the sunshine? Or are you going to use that fog to see the problems and details you might otherwise miss?